Indonesia stands on the brink of a transformative era. The electric vehicle or EV industry promises not only economic growth, but also a sustainable future for generations to come. Gathered here today are the pioneers of this movement. The host country of Indonesia, represented by Minister Fifi from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, the EV manufacturer represented by Andy from BYD Company, the state-owned mining company represented by Tacha from Petanikan Tambang, and the international financial expert represented by Fala from Asian Development Bank. Their mission is to position Indonesia as a leader in Southeast Asia burgeoning EV market. The future of Indonesia's electric vehicle market hangs in the balance.
Esteemed colleagues, I appreciate your participation today. Our primary objective is to position Indonesia as a leader in the Southeast Asian electric vehicle market. Attracting foreign investment is essential for stimulating our economy and generating sustainable employment opportunities. I look forward to our collaborative efforts in achieving this ambitious goal.
Thank you, Mr. Fifi. At BYD, we recognize the significant potential Indonesia holds in the electric vehicle sector. However, it is imperative that we prioritize compliance with environmental regulations and uphold sustainability standards. Our commitment is to foster practices that benefit both our industry and local communities.
Thank you, Annie. As the representative of PT Anthem, I must emphasize the importance of safeguarding our local industries amidst this influx of foreign investment. Implementing local content requirements is crucial to ensure that our domestic manufacturers can compete effectively and benefit from these developments.
Thank you all for these insightful opening remarks. As the Asian Development Bank, our role is to evaluate the financial implications of these investments. It is essential that proposed incentives align with our fiscal policies, while also considering their long-term economic impact on national revenues. Thank you, everyone. Having established our objectives and interests, let us now delve into the pressing challenges we face as we seek to attract foreign investment while addressing environmental and local industry concerns. Attracting foreign investment often raises concerns regarding environmental impact and the protection of local industries. How can we collaboratively navigate these complex issues?
Well, to effectively address these concerns, we must establish a robust framework for environmental regulations. This framework should ensure compliance and a set of benchmarks for sustainability practices that can be adopted throughout the region.
While I concur with Annie, we must remain vigilant in protecting our local industries. Local content requirements must not be seen as barriers to investment, but rather as essential protections. If foreign companies are allowed to operate without these requirements, our local manufacturers will struggle to survive.
Finding equilibrium is crucial. However, we must also reconsider the excessive local content requirements might deter foreign investment. We need to strike a balance that supports both local industries and attracts foreign capital.
With all due respect of it, prioritizing foreign investment over local industry will ultimately harm our economy. We cannot sacrifice our domestic capabilities for the sake of attracting investment.
Agreed. By prioritizing the challenges we've outlined, let us now explore alternative suggestions that could address these issues while advancing our collective goods. What alternative suggestions do we have to effectively address these multifaceted issues?
I propose that BYD implement a comprehensive and community engagement program. This initiative would actively involve local stakeholders in environmental assessments, fostering transparency and building trust within the community.
In addition, I recommend that we establish a policy mandating a minimum percentage of local sourcing for materials used in EV productions. This is not merely a suggestion. It is a necessity to ensure that our local industry benefits from foreign investment.
While I appreciate these suggestions, we should also consider a phased approach to investment incentives. Gradually increasing these incentives as companies demonstrate compliance with sustainability and local content benchmark could encourage adherence to our shared goals without overwhelming foreign investors.
This approach is beneficial. but I worry that such measures might delay the necessary actions we need to take. We cannot afford to leave environmental standards to development.
As such, having considered these alternative suggestions, let us now discuss the importance of setting global standards that could enhance Indonesia's position in the electric vehicle market. Setting global standards could greatly enhance Indonesia's standing in the electric vehicle market. How can we collaborate to achieve this?
Aligning our operations with international sustainability standards will not only elevate our reputation, but also attract a wider range of equal conscious investors. This alignment is crucial for long-term success.
However, it is essential that these standards are adaptable to our local context. We must ensure that they reflect our unique conditions and needs, so we can provide a flexibility in their implementation.
I propose that we establish a working group tasked with developing these standards. This group should ensure that the standards benefit both local industries and also foreign investors equally.
I am concerned about the pace at which we are moving. If we rush to adopt international standards without considering local needs, we risk undermining our own industries. We need to ensure that our standards are not just replicas of those in developed countries.
Thank you, Chacha. We acknowledge your concerns, and with such standards in mind, we must explore innovations that can bolster our electric vehicle manufacturing capabilities and sustainability efforts. So let us now turn our attentions to innovations that can bolster our electric vehicle manufacturing capabilities.
So in BYD, investing in renewable energy sources for our production facilities could significantly reduce our carbon footprint. This initiative will align with our sustainability goals and attract eco-conscious investors looking for responsible business practices.
Additionally, we should explore partnership with local technology firms to innovate new materials that meet both sustainability and performance criteria. This collaboration can enhance our competitive edge while supporting our local industries.
The AE stands ready to assist and facilitate access to the capital for these innovative projects. Funding for research and development is essential to drive advancements in our sector. But however, we must also ensure that such funding is allocated efficiently and with clear accountability.
I see. Well, I appreciate the sentiment. We need to ensure that funding mechanisms do not become bureaucratic hurdles. Quick access to fund is vital for innovation.
Surely, we must now examine the policies and role of government in facilitating this critical transition. What role do you think should the government play in facilitating this critical transition?
So the government must provide clear regulation that supports sustainable practices while also incentivizing companies that adhere to these standards. This clarity will foster a conducive environment for the investments.
Moreover, we need policies that protect local industries from being marginalized by foreign competitors. Implementing tax incentives for companies that meet local content requirements could be feasible solutions.
Government investment in infrastructure development is also vital. Enhancements in transportation and energy supply will support the entire EV ecosystem. However, we must be cautious about the fiscal implications of such investments.
I agree that infrastructure is essential, but we cannot allow infrastructure development to become an excuse for neglecting local industry protections. We must balance these priorities carefully.
Very well. Very well, colleagues. Now that we have explored the role of government, let us focus on finding common ground among our diverse interests. What unites us in this endeavor?
I believe that all parties present share a common vision of thriving EV industry in Indonesia, one that prioritizes sustainability and community welfare.
Exactly. By ensuring that local industries are protected while simultaneously embracing investment. And we can create a mutually beneficial environment. However, we must be vigilant to ensure that our local interests are not sidelined.
And I think furthermore, we all agree on the necessity of ensuring long-term economic stability through prudent financial planning and investment strategies, because it is crucial that we do not compromise our national interests for short-term gains.
Yes, I believe we can find a way to balance these concerns, but it will require commitment from all parties to engage in open dialogue and transparency throughout the process.
Thank you, Ms. Annie, thank you, Ms. Paula, and thank you, Ms. Chacha. To conclude our settlements, let us outline our agreed upon actions moving forward.
The UID commits to establish a community engagement program and adhering to international sustainability standards in our operations. We will also work closely with local communities to ensure that voices are heard. Okay, while we, the Tandang, will advocate for local content requirements and support policies that foster fair competitions among domestic producers. We will ensure that local industries benefit from foreign investments.
The ADB will also provide financial insights and support for innovative projects that aligns with our shared objectives, ensuring that a sustainable future for Indonesia's EV industry, and will also facilitate access to funding for projects that meet established criteria. Thank you all for your collaborative spirit and insightful contributions. Together, we are poised to position Indonesia as a leader in the electric vehicle market while ensuring sustainable and equitable growth for all stakeholders involved. Let us commit to ongoing communication as we implement these agreements. Thank you.